I used to play it humble, play it back, and all I ever did was get played. It's 50, 11 dials and something ways for you to get paid. If you ain't like the way shit was going, why'd you stay? Why wait till tomorrow to get done what you can't do today? Look, I said why wait? Look, I said why wait?
Yo, what's the word, everybody? Welcome to Why Wait, the AI Talk series. It's your host, Dennis Campbell, aka MrBizNTech, and this series is about urgency. Moving now, not waiting. AI is the great equalizer. In every episode, we're going to dive into quick convos for entrepreneurs, creatives, innovators to see how they use AI. And at the end, we're going to do a little bit of AI show and tell. But the first episode, we got my homie DOA Ron G in the building. What's the word, bro? How you feeling today?
What's up, man? I'm good, man. How you doing? And I'm on my way to the studio right now, man. Working.
Man, everything A1, bro. You know, I know y'all cooking up on that illegitimate too right now. But before we jump into the main topics today, I want to kick it off with a hot take. Yesterday, Mark Zuckerberg, he dropped a new MetaConnect announcements of their new Ray-Ban smart glasses. So these glasses are a fusion of AI and XR wearable tech. Now they have screens inside of the lenses, and I want to kind of just get your general temperature, man. Have you seen these Ray-Ban Metas? Have you tried them out yet? And what's your general, perspective on them? And then where you see things with like AI and hardware going in the future?
So I haven't got a chance to try them out myself, but I have seen certain examples of it. I think the purpose of technology in the first place is to provide phenomenal experience to the user or the consumer. You know what I'm saying? I think that's the basis of the advancement of technology. You know what I'm saying? So in terms of the glasses itself, I think it's a pretty unique idea to give the general public just a new outlook and a perspective on ways to communicate, on ways to learn, which is what I think most of these tools are naturally created for. You know what I'm saying? So, when you talk about the glasses being able to provide a different experience with just having conversation, you know what I mean? At a certain time, you used to have to change the TV with a remote. You know what I mean? Now you could probably tap the side of your glasses if they got built-in headphones and stuff like that, and you change your music, change the volume on it, essentially hands-free. You know what I mean? So I think in that respect, a lot of these tools be super useful to people in their everyday life that want to be more hands-free and more to provide a more tight and condensed space for working. You know what I mean? And things like that. So in that respect, I like it. You know what I mean? But if we talking about, the masses, it's like I got a philosophy, well, not more so a philosophy, but a theory of mine that I came up with a while ago, where I say, man, as technology advances, it reduces the quality of critical thinking in people as well, because just as much as it'll help you, it'll make you lazy. I think that, sometimes with these type of high-end, high-quality products, when you get involved with stuff like this, you should first of all, educate yourself, number one, but also make sure that you're using the tools properly. You make it a useful tool and not a tool that, can get out of hand.
Oh, for sure. You dropped a couple of real gems in there. Technology definitely is meant to make people's lives more efficient and optimal. But I look at AI definitely in a couple of different lenses, because honestly, this stuff can make people superhuman if they use it the right way. But if they use it in a way where it's meant to kind of make them a little bit more dormant, literally becomes just exactly what you were saying, a tool that kind of puts people in a more regressive state. So this technology is moving fast. People need to see it from all lenses type stuff. So now it's
Absolutely.
more and having a level of responsibility that we got to the next generation to make sure that they don't, pick this stuff up and just kind of use it aimlessly and kind of have a focus and a purpose with it.
Well, you just said it right there as far as the using the operative word responsible. I think sometimes as well when degenerates have so much access to high quality things like this and they use it for low frequency things, then that's where it can cause mass confusion. You know what I'm saying? And that's unfortunately the side that most people would lean on when it comes to this type of technology as well. You know what I mean? Which is why back in the day, certain things just used to be exclusive to what they were used for. You know what I mean? It wasn't, you just couldn't put stuff in the hands of the general public, because sometimes most of us aren't ready for certain things to be presented in these ways, which is why they spoon feed you and they do certain dramatic tests before they go public with a lot of these type of things. Historically. So,
Thanks.
Yeah, man. But and that's also with people falling into the realm of groupthink as well. You know what I mean? Which is why there's a minimal amount of geniuses and creatives in the world to begin with. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Because AI still is moving really fast, and it's letting people kind of go from idea to concept to reality much faster than ever. So if you think something and you have the right tools from an AI perspective, you can almost bring anything to life when it comes to a digital platform or even an action plan or a strategy. So let me ask you this. Do you see AI more as inspiration, a collaborator, or just a tool?
Yeah, so in my field, bro, I do music. So I look at it more as a collaborator for creatives, you know what I'm saying? Not more so anything to be inspired by, but definitely more of a collaborator and a partner in whatever creative field that you in or whatever you do. Like, so for me, for example, being a musician, I was trying to find creative ways to present my art and roll out my art, considering that, I got a joint project coming out, called Illegitimate Tool. And, ways to do that is through like powerful imagery. You know what I'm saying? And I was trying to find motion themes that fit the feel of what this project is. You know what I'm saying? So, and also keep it, kind of local as far as like representing the city that I'm from, which was the first video I dropped. You know what I'm saying? I use kind of like the imagery of a young black boy coming from, where we from, and kind of representing his message under the arch. You know what I'm saying? That was like one of the first videos I dropped, like leading for the rollout of the album and stuff like that. So in this aspect, if you don't have, let's say, an in-house content creator such as, a cinematographer or videographer or, a photographer or somebody that creates digital graphics, then boom, I can go right to whatever app or resource that I use and create it on my own, as long as I give a detailed description of exactly what I need and how I need it done. And then also you have the wherewithal to modify things if they not to your liking, which is the best part of it. So me being able to use those things, if I don't have, one of those people in home, it works out perfectly for exactly what I'm trying to do. And it's much more cost effective and efficient.
Yeah, it makes a whole lot of sense from a creative perspective, and you for all the right reasons too, man. I definitely probably can give you a few tidbits too, because I'm in a few communities with some of this creative stuff. But definitely, man, I see it very much so as a collaborator or a tool. So naturally, I think people should come in with the inspiration when they come to these platforms and kind of know what direction they're looking to go in, and then take that inspiration as more of a vibe creator for how they prompt. And you talked very briefly over the skill. The main skill in the AI world is really prompting, and prompting skills are things that need to be hardened and developed. It's going to be a skill that's as important as mathematics over the next 5 to 10 years, and most of the next generation are going to be more effective at prompting. But prompting isn't just throwing something in like a search engine. It's like you got to be a little bit more strategic when you want to get specific output back from the system. So yeah, you tapped into a couple of really key points there. So yeah, you using it definitely in the right way. And like I said, if you need anything, and some extra kind of stuff to add on top of it, man, we got some tools and resources that could potentially help you out with it for sure. But I do love what you're doing. But I've seen some of the stuff as you start doing your rollout, and I saw a lot of the AI visuals that you were creating. Super dope work, bro. So yeah, keep pushing that line for real.
Absolutely, I appreciate that.
No, for sure. So now it brings to the next angle, man, because a lot of people, they feel like AI makes life or makes things too easy. Because you kind of highlighted this already, but and they say it kind of takes away from the authenticity. So what's your take on that? Do you think AI dilutes creativity, or does it actually help us get deeper into our crafts?
Bro, I would say, man, as technology advances, it takes away the quality of critical thinking, and I'll add something in there. It takes away the yearn for hard work or physical labor. You know what I'm saying? Like for somebody like me, like I'm a grinder, bro. And when I use the term grinder, it's just, I'm a do-it-yourselfer for the most part. You know what I'm saying? So like, I still like I'm a feel type of person. Like I like the feel and the experience of things. You know what I'm saying? I still go to the movies. I would go to the movies first before I watch Netflix. You know what I'm saying? I like to go to the store. I'm not a online shopper unless it's absolutely something that I just can't get right away. You know what I'm saying? Like I just can't walk in any store and get it. That would probably be the only time where I actually go and order something online. I have to get out and feel things. That's how even I am as a creator and as a thinker. Like if I don't feel it, then I can't be involved. You know what I mean? So like those are the things like with technology or not even just technology, but even different things that's created for your benefit. Like, I'm super big right now into health and fitness. You know what I'm saying? Like I dropped like 50 pounds in 6 months. You know what I mean? Like I was 215 in March. I'm 168 now. You know what I'm saying? Like
I can see it on you, bro.
they had I appreciate that, and I got my first bodybuilder show coming up Saturday too. So I'm excited about that. But at a certain point, it wasn't nothing but maybe bricks and branches and other stuff to pick up just to get your active workout on. You know what I'm saying? And then upgraded to iron and free weights, and now they have machines that help get your posture and your symmetry and your form right. You know what I'm saying? But you still using it for what it needs to be used for. It's just certain things that make your life easier. You know what I'm saying? So, in that respect to the original question, I think there's going to always be a small percentage of people that use the tools that they have in front of them to their fullest capacity. Unless you have like just a nice community of a healthy number of people that are all on the same accord, which is kind of rare these days because, a lot of stuff, kind of push individualism. We don't have a lot of groupthink in terms of what's progressive these days. You know what I mean? Because traditionally, the fourth estate, which is the media, especially, and we talk in a traditional sense, where they come from, old internet or linear television, when the news channels or analysts or broadcasters used to push it. There's an individualistic ideal that they push amongst the masses to have, like it's like a divide and conquer thing. You know what I mean? Whether that's deliberate or whether that's just by chance. You know what I'm saying? Like, ironically enough, this stuff
now for sure.
Yeah, like ironically, this stuff, man, it sprung up on us at the same time. But man, like self-preservation gonna always come in the mind of a person first. You know what I'm saying? So like, this is more like it's gonna more like divide what's going on versus kind of bringing it together and be useful for the people for the most part.
No, for sure.
And, I don't want to go off on too far of a tangent with that, but like.
No, I know where you're going with it. You already know what time we done been in them combos for sure before.
But it's only going to be a small percentage of people that use these things to its highest capacity, and those people with the light will have to, use that candle to make more light work. Many hands make light work, man.
Man, I'm glad you just said that because that's one of the prime reasons why I'm doing this talk series. Like, you literally just talk right into it. Like, it's this thing that, like, I've been knowing about AI for over 10 years, probably over 12, 15 years. Like, I literally have been aware of its coming since really around like 2009, 2010, like when I moved to Atlanta and start going to Georgia Tech. So I learned some stuff about this technology when it was still very much so only in government places and high level security type of environments where you can't even tap into what was actually happening because there wasn't enough infrastructure for it. But honestly, a lot of what you just said is one of the reasons why it took so long for it to get here. But now that it's here, and I had this statement that I've been saying recently, that AI is the great equalizer. And now, specifically for people that come from communities that are typically oppressed or just misrepresented, or typically just don't have enough opportunity in a number of different rights, this technology is one of the things that can actually allow us, if we use it properly and if we understand how to really take advantage of it, it can actually reposition the place that we've been in for generationally. Like our ancestors have been in positions that just haven't been as advantageous. And I feel like with the reckoning of what AI is now becoming as a commercialized front, we now are walking into this place where more people need to understand what this is and not lean into that side of the element that you were talking about, where naturally most people are going to lean into that lazy element, but we actually need to be much more aggressive and apt to being able to use this in a much more non-passive way and looking at it as a superhuman tool, in which it is, and really empower ourselves to move forward with it properly. So for me, I'm glad you brought all those points in, because you literally are talking into the points that are the reason why I'm doing this. As someone who's been in the tech industry, I got to have conversations with my brothers who are not in this space so that we can all come together, because that individual groupthink thing is not going to get us where we need to go. If you look at the history of our ancestors and just the things that literally allowed us to build the greatest things in the world, it was because we were together. It was because we understood community. We understood family. I know you're a father, bro. You understand family. You understand community. You understand brotherhood. You understand what it means to be a man for the collective of the people around you. And this technology is something that I know, like, I got a responsibility to my community to make sure that we understand. First, I know my responsibility, but I also know that, we all got to be on a certain page when it comes to this stuff, because there's a line that can be pressed that if we don't use this properly, worse things can happen than what we've seen in the history if we don't position ourselves properly with this technology. So
I don't mean to cut your wisdom, but
go ahead, you good.
Like even going towards the name of what we're doing now, like, why wait? Time is moving so fast. We don't have the luxury to wait anymore when it comes to this type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, we have to get educated quickly, and we have to be functioning and efficient with these things as quickly as possible as well. You know what I mean? I also pass down the education. So, the system has to, move quickly, because, like, before we know it, bro, we'll be in 2035. You know what I'm saying? Like, 2025 came fast enough. I remember, being out there in the thick of the things going on in Ferguson, you know what I'm saying? And to know that that's like, bro, not even 10, 11 years later, bro, like, how many lives have I lived since then? You know what I'm saying? Like, we went through a whole pandemic, bro, just three to 5 years ago. You know what I'm saying? Like, when they officially ended the state of emergency and the pandemic, whatever year that officially ended, but we was in there for a while. You know what I'm saying? That felt like a different type of lifetime. You know what I mean? So, think about the many things that even happen in our lives right now. Like, bro, I'm 34. You know what I'm saying? I can remember when I was a kid, they wouldn't even think there'd be a black president. You know what I'm saying? Or electric cars. You think about how far in the future they thought some of these things would be. Like, I got grandparents that didn't think they would live to see these things, and then they came just like that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
exactly.
And it's like, and somebody somewhere that created these things said, why wait? You know what I'm saying? Like, why not now? And then also, if we want to add the cherry on top of this conversation, when we talking about technology and the advancement of it, most of the innovators and the biggest creators come exactly from where we from. Walk the same soil, walk the same halls of some of these schools we went to. If we talking about David Stewart, Jack Dorsey, Sam Altman, these guys come from right here in the heart of the city, like. And I'm sure many of us in this particular bed don't even understand where we at. You know what I'm saying? Because some of us, especially coming from where we come from, we so conditioned to only, know the environments and the terrains that we walk on. You know what I'm saying? But, man, I've always been, again, like, I'm a do-it-yourselfer. I got to do the knowledge to things. You know what I'm saying? I have to know more things that are outside my realm than inside of it. I know the inside and out. You know what I'm saying? But the things on the outside, I want to be well versed in, because I feel like I can walk in any room. You know what I mean? I can speak amongst my people, of course. raise those levels, and then match the level of somebody else in a boardroom or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So I pride myself in being able to have those levels of communication. You know what I mean? And it's more people that can do it out here. That you just gotta apply yourself to supply your will.
These are the facts, bro. And I heard everything you're saying loud and clear. You literally just added a few bombshells in there, and understanding coming from environments that typically don't get access to this stuff in a timely fashion. Right now, we have to be way more aggressive because now there's more access than ever. So I'm gonna flow into the last major question. We're gonna talk about digital ownership and ownership in the AI era. If AI helps you create like half of a project, or who really is supposed to get the credit? The artist, the creative, the technology, or the vision behind it all? But I want to hear your perspective on that, because ownership is something that people spend a lot of time talking about in this space. But I definitely have a perspective. I want to hear what you think about that when it comes to using AI to help you create specific things, whether it's music, art, visuals.
Yeah, to answer that question right off the bat, I feel like I should get 100% of that credit if it came from my idea, and if it came from my mind, it was my idea, and I laid out every specific detail in the way that this thing should go. I should get 100% of the credit for that, because this is technology, and it was made for that use. You know what I'm saying? Like the credit that the app or the technology itself get is the subscription that I pay you on a monthly basis to keep coming back and doing it all over and over again. So whatever residuals and bonuses that I make outside of that should belong to me if it worked the proper way.
You see it completely, man. It's definitely one of the things that I see that too. It's one of those, and it's a lot of different platforms. So I'm gonna tell you, my perspective is very, very much so aligned with that. But I see a lot of different platforms. So there are some platforms that let people make AI music. Now, I know you and me, we make music, and then there's a lane where people make completely AI generated music. Now, that lane, some of the platforms that help people facilitate those types of experiences, they try to take a piece of the ownership of those records. And realistically, I feel like they overstepping their boundaries when they're doing stuff like that. But there's so many platforms out here that people have alternatives and options they can go to and kind of still create. But I do feel like the credit belongs to the person who prompted. So whoever prompted the process of the outputted creation, they should be the person who walks away with the ownership of the creation. And ultimately, there should be some type of credit given to the platform that they used if necessary, but it shouldn't be a monetary thing in that regard, especially if they're paying for a subscription or something of that format.
And also, man, like, nobody can really, not an artist anyway. Like, artists can't get mad at what they agree to. You know what I'm saying? Like, you will get punished for the things that you don't know or don't educate yourself on. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a famous quote I be hearing a lot of times where, when people go to court and they're about to get a sentence from the judge, they say ignorance of the law is no excuse. You know what I mean? Ignorance to those fine print things is no excuse. You know what I'm saying? If you agree to certain things and you choose to use these platforms, then you should understand the ramifications that come with using certain platforms. You know what I'm saying? And it's kind of like that now, like where we all use Instagram, Facebook, X, Twitter, you know what I'm saying, TikTok, whatever, and we give these platforms consent every day to use our likeness and to sell to us. You know what I mean? So even some of those, a few years back when they were doing like a little trendy thing on the internet where they were just testing people to try these AI tools and platforms. And now, anybody could probably see their face come up on a commercial during the Super Bowl. You know what I'm saying? But they won't get no rights to that because, you gave your image and likeness license over to the app when you did that a few years ago and you ain't even know it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So
these are the facts.
With these things, you know what I mean? For people that want to, monetize and get, get funds from these things. But
these are the facts, and I mean, and it leans back into even what you said in the beginning, man. It's the ease of access for a lot of people that they don't really care about the red tape and stuff. But in this time, people definitely need to be a little bit more mindful of that. So, So man, there's a lot of powerful perspective in this conversation. Now I'm gonna flip to the last part, the fun part of this, the AI show and tell. I didn't get you to send me the video over, so we're gonna have to play it a little bit smooth. But definitely, before I show my part, let me get some. I want to give you like a minute or so to talk a little bit about the project, give a little bit of just introspection on kind of what y'all bringing in the project, and giving a little bit of light. So anybody that's watching this or anybody that see the post edit, you can kind of give them just a little bit about the illegitimate project that y'all coming with. What's the energy? What's the focus? You know what I'm saying? Kind of give us a little bit before it drops.
Illegitimate 2, bro, is basically, it's the 10-year anniversary of the first collab project me and my boy Tank the Machine had, which was titled Illegitimate. This one is the subtitle Administration. And administration basically means, all the stuff that we've been through, you know what I'm saying, in this little journey of hip-hop of ours, and which is built over into real life. We basically was thinking about, me and him being the two common denominators of everything that done went on and stood tall through every storm. Through this process, we still was able to create, a great body of work, up until this point. Because, we solo artists, but together we titled DOA, which is an acronym for Dimension of Ascension. You know what I'm saying? And as always, to, move with a progressive form of upward mobility, and progress. And also with this album, we kind of wanted to create like a stronger energy and a stronger feel in terms of like lyricism, And, I definitely think we kind of heightened that, from the first one, and then, tell maybe a few more stories in which we wasn't able to tell on the first one. You know what I'm saying? So I think this one is definitely going to be an intense body of work once we put it out. We just dropped the first video, which was called Titans and Tariffs. Just maybe last week or the week before, something like that. Titans and Tariffs, which was the first single off the project, and we got more videos to come, bro. Dropping on September 26th. September 26th, the full project will be out.
That's a bet, man. So make sure y'all tap in the 26 Illegitimate 2. So now I'm gonna play something I've been working on. I got a creative project I've been building. I dropped a single a little while ago, so I'm gonna let you see this video like 2 minutes long. And I just want to get your genuine feedback after I get done. It's like one of the second AI visual projects that I made from a creative perspective.
Somewhere in the future, the truth of hip-hop was locked away. The words that spoke to the people, the beats that carried healing, hustle, and hope. The records that built community, not confusion. All of it sealed inside a vault. What's left out here? Noise. Empty verses. Culture stripped of its roots. But that vault can't stay closed forever. This record, Why Wait, is more than music. It's a signal, a reminder, a key. Because the longer we wait, the more we lose. The heartbeat of real hip-hop is still alive, but only if we unlock it together, now.
It's DC. Look, I used to play it humble, play it back, and all I ever did was get played. It's 50, 11,000, something ways for you to get paid. If you ain't like the way shit was going, why'd you stay? Why wait till tomorrow to get done what you can do today? Look, I said why wait? Look, I said why wait? I said why wait? Look, why wait? I'm a once in a lifetime experience. Y'all really ain't experiencing. I can hear it in your sentiment. Know you smell it on me. Yeah, I'm heaven sent and I'm better bent. Started as a rookie, now a veteran. Myself the only thing I'm focused on getting better than the beat in the flow, the candy. I'm spitting that medicine, helping to heal our people from their rhetoric. Play it back and all I ever did was get played. It's 50, 11,000, something ways for you to get paid. If you ain't like the way shit was going, why'd you stay? Why wait till tomorrow to get done what you can do today? Look, I said why wait? Look, why wait? I said why wait? Look, why wait? They know we ain't gon' tolerate too much more of that violent hate, but I prefer that over all of that silent hate. Might provoke them just to take the bait. I'm ready for war action. All we can debate, studied American history, and sometimes I cannot relate.
The vault is opening. But this is just the beginning. To hear the full record, head to even.biz. Search MrBizNTech. Don't wait. Don't let it get locked away again.
11,000, something ways for you to get paid. If you ain't like the way shit was going, why'd you stay? Why wait till tomorrow to get done what you can do today? Look, I said why wait? Why wait? Look, why wait? Why wait? I said why wait? Why wait? Look, why wait?
Ah, dang. So it ain't. So it showed up on the stream, but it ain't come through on your end. Yeah, I'm gonna have to figure out how to get this mug playing the right way so we can see it on the screen together. But sure, we already had a solid convo, man. We already done built through most of it.
Yeah, I just got to the studio too, bro. I'm about to walk in, so.
Yeah, so we're gonna wrap it up, man, for today. So appreciate you coming through on the platform, and everybody, man, follow, like, share, comment. We're gonna keep getting better with this format. So yeah, man, this Why Wait, the first episode. See y'all next episode, man. Peace.
All right, appreciate it, bro. Thank you.
Shit was going, why'd you stay? Why wait till tomorrow to get done what you can do today? Look, I said why wait? Look, I said why wait?
They said hip-hop couldn't evolve, but I saw something bigger. This album, you can't unsee this. It's not just about beats and bars, it's about perspective, about seeing what most ignore and not being able to unsee it when you do. It's time to shift how we see creation, business, and innovation. The future won't wait, so why should you? Let's get active. You can't unsee this. The album. 1. You can own You Can't Unsee This, the album, from even.biz. You can purchase it directly from us. There's nobody in the middle, man. It's MrBizNTech, artist, innovator, executive. Love life. Peace.